Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. Hi everyone, it's Mike here. So it's time for another mid-month mini mission inspiration, and the randomised machine that Ian built us has picked out the letter P for February. So I'll put on screen now the sheet with the words for inspiration that you can see there, but I'm going to go for the word poetry in there. So I'm going to create a tag that has a piece of poetry embedded in it. So this is my tag journal for the mini missions for 2020, and I've already got my card cut out from, yes, you guessed it again, an old box of dog food. So I've done that. I'm going to cover both the front and the back this time. I always forget to do the back. So I've gone to my Tim Holtz paper collection, and I think this is from the Carte Postale 12 by 12 set. Maybe wrong. I don't know. I've lost the cover. I don't know. I'm just guessing at it because it says the word that there. It's got the telegram on it, so I'm presuming that's what it's going to be. So I'm going to cover the back with this. So I've already used the sheet as a template, and I'm going to then cover the front with the paper too. So all I'm going to do is just to glue that down. Nothing exciting. So the tag journal, if you're interested, is 4 inches by 8, and then all I've done is just measured, coming down, and then popped the hole in for it. So yeah, so there's the front, there's the back. So all I need to do for the time being is just grab some glue. So for this one I'm using Aleene's clear tacky glue, which I'm hoping, here we go, it's coming out fairly easy. I'm just going to go around the edges. Watching somebody stick some pieces of paper down isn't exactly the most interesting video, but it's part and parcel of the creation process. And I think sometimes we forget that there are people out there that are just new to this, are just coming to it. So even if we've seen this 100 times before, somebody watching this might actually be their first. So that's the back. Now I'm not too worried if I've not got it 100%, because I can manoeuvre the paper with that glue because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. And then just before we stick the other side on, I'm just going to pop a pencil mark or a pencil just through the hole, just so I know where it is and it doesn't get lost. I'll just give that a push for a second, and we'll just take off that excess, at least I know where it is. Okay, and now I can do the same for the front. Now that's going to be the front, so that's going to get the side with the glue on it. Come on. So again, around the edges. I think that should be enough. And then I can just line that straight up onto the card, down at the bottom, and then just follow it all the way up. So that gives me then my completely covered card. I will sort out these edges once everything's dry. Just give it a little bit of a rub, just to make sure that the glue is distributing itself underneath and everything gets a good grip. Get a grip. And then once again, just grab that pencil and then I can work out where the hole is. And then just pop my pencil through, like so. And then later, if I want to, I can come back with my crocodile and just clean that up. It's not a problem. Okay, so I can put that to one side while I work on my poem. Right, so I've gone onto the computer and I found a nice suitable poem, which, with it being Valentine's Day yesterday, I thought one that was a little bit kind of romantic would be quite nice. So I've picked the first 3 verses to this poem. I can't remember the title for it now, but anyway, it's a nice little poem, and the name of the author is just there. So what I want to do is I want to add some colour into the background on this one. So to do that, I'm going to grab some distress oxides, but I want some kind of yellowy, orangey, warm colours. So I've got distress oxides, so I've got a little bit of warm wild honey. So I'll put a little bit of that onto the mat, spritz a tad of water, and then I'm going to just drop this over the top. Start collecting some water on this. Again, for those of you that already know or that follow me, my inkjet printer uses an ink from a company, well, it's a Durabright ink, which means that when it's dry, it's actually permanent. So, which is unusual for inkjet printers, in my experience. So when I found this one, obviously I jumped on it. So my printer is I'll put it on screen because I always get asked about this at least once or twice a week. It's the Epson Workforce WF2630, and that's the one that uses the 16, which is the pen and crossword one, and it uses Durabright ink, which is permanent when dry. Okay, so to that I'm going to add some bits of orange. If you've only got ordinary distress inks, not oxides, you can still do this. It's not, it's not product specific or dependent. You can still do it. It's fairly easy. So we get that kind of lovely watercolory kind of background. Now I do want to add a little bit of darkness in there. So I'm just going to quick flick through my oxide collection. We've got tea dye there, and that might work. So I could have used antique linen, but meh. It's a bit of nothing really. It's something or nothing with antique linen. We're not there. So black soot, don't know why I have any greens in there really. Yeah, that'll do, I think. Tea dye will work because that's more kind of like browny orangey. So one more layer, I think, and then I'm going to be fairly happy. Just get it activated, and then we'll just dip in. And I'll particularly press around the edges rather than the centres. It's a very kind of similar colour. Just adds a tiny bit of depth. Okay. I can put that tea dye to one side. Now, even though you're probably not going to see it, I do want to go around the edges of this piece of paper with some vintage photo. So I've got my little mini vintage photo here, and I'm just going to go around the edges. Like I said, you're probably not going to see it. Now I could have used the Distress Oxide vintage photo, but I can't find it, so I'm using this one instead. Like I said, they're not necessarily product specific. Any browning could have done, to be fair. So if you don't own any distress, don't sweat it. Just use what you've got. Any water-based inks, you'll be able to do the same sort of effect as this. As long as they activate with water, you can still create your watercolour kind of background. There we go. Now, I'll put that to one side for now. So that's the sheets that I printed off from the computer. Again, all traces of white have now gone. We've got that lovely kind of watercolour effect, which is cool. So I'll put that to one side. So back with the tag. Right, so what I'm going to do with that, just grab again the distress ink, and I can start bringing in some of that darker colour around the edges. Now remember, the one with the birdie is the back on this one. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same to the front. Alright, so we've gone all the way around on that. Let me just grab a wet wipe, so I don't want to be contaminating everything with distress ink. And again, I apologise for the sound of the wobbly bookcase. One of these days I will get around to sorting it. One day. Okay, so I can now bring my poem back in. Yes, I know I'm covering up most of it, but that was the whole point. Just wanted something in the background. So I'm now going to start to glue that down. And I'll use the same glue as we used before. Sometimes I do 3D tags, sometimes I just do them flat, and today this is just going to be a flat one. It's interesting if you look at the back how the ink has actually gone through where the writing is. Isn't that bizarre? It's obviously some kind of chemical reaction with the Distress Oxide and the ink from the printer. But not a bad one. Not one that we're actually that's going to cause us any problems. Okay. So now we've got that stuck down, just sort of straighten it out a little bit. Okay, so the eagle-eyed among you would have noticed these piles of numbers over here. So what I did is I went through my Tim Holtz paper collection again, and found a sheet that had some of the, well, one of the 6x6 sheets, so 12x12 that's broken up into 4 6x6s, and it was the one that had all the number blocks on it, from the Lost and Found collection. Now I know the name of that one because I still have the cover. Go figure. I do, manage to keep one or two together. So what I want to do is I want to actually build up some of these letters and numbers. So for example, I started cutting them out into shapes that I knew would probably go together into like little clusters. So like this one here I thought would go nicely in the bottom left hand corner, and this one over here would go in the bottom left hand corner, bottom right hand corner. I don't know my left from my right today. Like so. And then the other pieces I just cut into smaller pieces so that I could layer them, tuck them under, just to create a kind of numbered border all the way around the tag. So again, all I'm going to do here is just to start gluing these down. Now hopefully I may have just enough. No, probably not. I thought I might have just enough glue in one of my small applicator glue sticks to be able to use it. Let me have a look, see if I've got any left in here. There's not a lot left in that one. I should have picked up half a dozen of these the last time I was at the store, but never mind. Again, I just want to go just add a little bit of distress, just to kind of hide those white edges, although it's not hypercritical. My choice of glue isn't really a conscious one, it's just whatever I've got to hand, but this one's got a fine point applicator on it, so, and these are small pieces, so it stands to reason, if there is such a thing. Okay, so again this is going to be a bit of a repetitive process, so I will probably just put this onto a little bit of fast forward with a little bit of music, and then I'll catch up with you once I've got most of it glued down. Okay, so they're pretty much dry now. So I've stuck that circle at the top there just as a kind of hole reinforcer. Doesn't really need it because, you know, it's not going to tear. But I also wanted to add one at the back. So what I've done is I've just used an inch circle punch and just punched out another hole, or another circle. And I'm just going to stick that on the back with a little bit of glue. Just go around the edges first, just with that residual ink. Just kind of keep it all together. There we go. And then just using my crocodile, out you go. I'm just going to pump that hole back in again. Sorted. And then what I can do is just grab my scissors and then just trim off those little excess pieces if they're sticking out over the edge. Again, just grab that residual. And there we go. So there is my poetry tag. So I'll hold it up there because people read at different different speeds. So I don't think you will ever fully understand how you've touched my life and made me who I am. I don't think you could ever know just how truly special you are, that even on the darkest nights you are my brightest star. You've allowed me to experience something very hard to find, unconditional love that exists in my body, soul and mind. So there we go. It's not the complete poem. There are some more verses, but I thought 3 was just enough. And I like the fact, I like the numbers going all around it because it kind of gives you the impression of years and that kind of stuff, and the passing of time. So there is my mixed media collaged art tag for the February mid-month mini mission inspiration. So the last thing that I need to do now is just to bring my tag journal back in. So that was for January, and now I can add it in for February. There you go. All safe and sound. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me do that. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. Time to tidy up. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.